In this video, we're going to talk about, is it really possible with online arbitrage and selling on Amazon to make $100,000 in your first year? I'm going to show you real examples and real amounts of money. So make sure to stick around until the very end of the video. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Hernan and I've been selling on Amazon, doing online arbitrage since 2015. That's how many years? 9 years doing this. And if you are new to selling on Amazon, basically the basics of selling on Amazon is you find a product that is at a discount or cheaper than it is on Amazon. You buy it and then you resell it on Amazon at a profit. Now, like any business, Amazon has its pros and its cons. The pros, obviously, Amazon is the biggest online e-commerce platform in the world. So it has an amazing amount of traffic, of buyers looking for products to buy every single day. We also have a lot of good tools that help us analyze and make an informed and educated decision when we are buying the inventory. Now, some of the cons of selling on Amazon are all the Amazon fees, when buyers return your products and they are damaged, all the logistics of selling on Amazon where you prep, you label, you ship the inventory to Amazon, and anything can happen in between. Your inventory might get lost, your inventory might get damaged. But now the real question, is it worth it to sell on Amazon? And even more importantly, is it worth it to sell on Amazon versus doing something else with your time that may give you even more money? So we're going to answer this question. But to answer this question, we need to also answer the question that I posed at the beginning of this video. And the question is, can we realistically make $100,000 of net profit the first year that we're selling on Amazon? But now, before we answer the question, bear with me and the sponsor of this video. The sponsor of this video is myself. Yes, myself, because I want to share with you what I do every single morning. Every single morning, I spend about 6 hours of my morning sourcing and finding profitable products to sell on Amazon. And the best part is that I share those with you. So if you're interested in me sharing my own online arbitrage leads that I source myself, make sure to click on the link on the video description, or I'm also putting the URL right here so you can check it out at your own time. The second sponsor of this video is the like and the subscribe button. So make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's answer the big question. Can you really make 100K net profit your first year of selling on Amazon? I realistically think it is not possible for a beginner seller to make 100K on their first year. And I'll tell you exactly why. The big problem when you're selling on Amazon is that you require capital. And chances are that you are at a point in your life when you don't have a lot of capital to invest. Maybe you have $1,000, maybe you have $3,000 that you can comfortably spend on inventory every single month. So with that level of spending, it's very, very hard to get to 100K in net profit from your sales on your very first year. And I'm going to go in detail in the calculations that explain exactly my logic. Number one, Amazon will hold part of your sales revenue. So every time you make sales, Amazon will not disburse all your payment. They will hold a portion of your payment, which is about a third of your payment, as a cash reserve. And they use that to protect themselves against returns, damaged equipment, lost inventory. They want to hold some of your revenue as a reserve to protect themselves, Amazon. And that unfortunately means that you will not have all your money available to you to reinvest into more inventory. Number two, as a beginner seller, you are more likely to make bad purchasing decisions. that's going to end up in you purchasing bad inventory or bad items that are either not going to sell, they're just going to sit there without selling for a year or more, or they're going to sell at a loss. Now, what's the profit margin that you can expect to make doing the online arbitrage model? Here, I'm only talking about online arbitrage. I'm not talking about retail arbitrage. I'm not talking about wholesale. Only OA, online arbitrage, which is what I've been doing for 9 years and what my specialty is. You can comfortably make 15% profit margin on your first year and subsequent years as well. That's what I have been averaging along my journey, 15% profit margin. That means if you are planning to make $100,000 in net profit on your first year per year, you have to spend about $666,666 in inventory purchases per year to get to that number. That's roughly $1,800 in inventory purchases per day. And as you can imagine, as a new seller with little capital, those numbers are unfathomable. However, the good news is that you are really not making 15% profit margin. You're making more. And the reason is that your revenue from Amazon sales is not the only revenue in your Amazon business. You will have multiple income sources. And let me explain that further. Number one is revenue that you get from your Amazon sales. Number two is revenue that you get from using a Chrome extension like Rakuten that gives you cash back on every single one of your purchases. So for example, if you're purchasing at Walmart.com or Lowe's.com, and you have that Chrome extension activated, it will get you some cash back, which fluctuates day to day, but it will get you on average across all your purchases about 3% cash back. Now, if you're not using Rakuten yet, you're making a huge mistake, and I highly recommend that you use it. As a matter of fact, you can sign up to Rakuten using my link below on the description, and that will get you about $30 as a sign-up bonus just to use it. So make sure to go and get it and apply it on future purchases. The third way of increasing your profit margins when you're selling on Amazon is to use a service that will allow you to buy discounted gift cards. Basically, that means, let me give you an example. I want to buy a Kohl's.com gift card, a $1,000 Kohl's gift card. But instead of spending $1,000 in that gift card, I only spend, let's say, $950, automatically making a $50 profit or 5% profit margin. Now, you can conservatively expect to make about a 4% profit margin just by using discounted gift cards as your payment method when you're buying inventory for Amazon. And the beauty of that is that you can buy discounted gift cards using your credit card, where you're stockpiling cash back from your credit card and the discount from the discounted gift cards. For the discounted gift cards, I use a service called Arbitrage Card, and I'm linking it down on my video description. Make sure to check that out. It's super important. That's how I buy a lot of my inventory. And again, it will save you a lot of money and it will increase your profit margins for about 4%. And that leads me to the next point. Number 4 is your credit card. I use the Capital One Spark Business Card. In order for you to qualify for that, you need an LLC. So if you have an LLC, you can apply. I'm actually putting a link on my video description too. Right now, they have a huge promotion where I encourage you to apply for it. Again, link in the video description. And that's how I make all of my purchases with a credit card, with the Capital One Spark Business Card credit card. And that gives me 2% cash back on every single purchase that I make. So now you have 2% cash back from my credit card, plus about 4% from the discounted gift cards, plus about 3% from my Rakuten cashback. And as you can see, we quickly went from a 15% profit margin to about a 22, 23% profit margin on all the inventory that you're buying. So the numbers are starting to look up. And by the way, these are averages that I've been seeing myself throughout my entire journey of buying inventory for online arbitrage ever since I started for 9 years. So these are proven numbers from my own experience that I'm sharing with you. What I want to do now is take you through the different scenarios on the amount of money that you would spend per year and the amount of profit that you would make with a 23% profit margin. That way you get an overall idea on how much money you can feasibly make your first year based on the capital that you currently have available, which obviously varies from buyer to buyer and from seller to seller. So if we take 23% profit margin and let's say you spend $666,666, then you would make around $146,000 in net profit, which is not a bad annual income for online arbitrage. Now, let's say you were to spend half of that, that's $333,333 per year in inventory purchases, and that would get you roughly about $73,000 in net profit. If we were to cut that in half and you get $166,666, that will get you about $36,000 in net profit. If you were to spend $83,000 in inventory purchases, you would make around $13,000 in net profit. And the last scenario is if you were to spend roughly $41,000 in inventory purchases, you would make around $9,000 or almost $10,000 really in an annual income, net annual profit from your Amazon business. Now, in my humble opinion, this last scenario where you are making $10,000 in net profit is the most realistic for a beginner seller. Because if you think about the $41,000 in inventory purchases that you will need to spend to get to the $10,000 mark per year, that means that you roughly need to spend $3,500 per month to get to that number. And I am guessing that most of you guys out there, even $3,500 a month is a lot of money to spend on a new venture that you're not even sure if it's going to work. So that's why I think that this last scenario is the most realistic as a beginner seller. But what can you expect moving forward? Well, first of all, I definitely don't want you to get discouraged by $10,000 annual income. I'll tell you why. $10,000 can get you a lot of things. It can help you pay medical bills. It can help you pay for education. It can help you pay for a vacation. And remember, you're just getting started. Most businesses really fail, but Amazon is a weird thing where most sellers out there actually start making money the first year. You can't really say that about most businesses out there. Imagine if you were to open a restaurant or a retail shop. Chances are that you would go bankrupt on your first 2 years. That's the overall statistic out there. But with Amazon, it's a little bit different. Most people actually succeed if they have the patience to move forward. I always say that selling on Amazon is like a big snowball. It starts very tiny, and as it rolls down the hill or the mountain, it gets bigger and bigger. That's why when you're selling, when you're beginning to sell, your first year is absolutely grueling. It will crush your soul. You will see a lot of obstacles. And as a matter of fact, a lot of new Amazon sellers quit. They give up because they don't see the end of the road or the light at the end of the tunnel. They don't see it. They're like, oh my God, I spent all this time, an entire year of my life, and I only made $10,000. Well, the good news is that you can actually, believe it or not, expect to make about $100,000 in net profit on year 2 or year 3. Year 2 or year 3. That's the average. That's what I've been seeing from personal experience. Most sellers hit that mark on year 2 or year 3. And the reason for that is simple. They continue reinvesting the profits. So now you no longer depend on the limited capital that you had initially. You are now rolling the profits that you got from your first year of selling on Amazon and now buying more inventory. And as I explained before, the more inventory that you purchase, the more your profits are going to be in the end. So expect that by year 2 or year 3, you will hit the mark, $100,000. Now, this is what I recommend to most sellers. Do not quit your full-time job just yet. You will need your full-time job when you're getting started to get that income, that stable paycheck to pay for that inventory. You need that source of income to grab a little bit of it and see it as an investment. You're investing in inventory, and it's your own little side hustle business that will eventually grow. And believe it or not, by year 2 or by year 3, you're probably going to end up making more money on your Amazon business than what you're currently making in your full-time job. That way, you can make Amazon your full-time job by, let's say, year 3 and escape the rat race. So, my number one advice to all sellers: don't quit your job or get a stable income job at the very beginning. And number 2, have a lot of patience. Do not give up, because the light is there at the end of the tunnel. It is a proven business model. The metaphor that I like to use always is that selling on Amazon is like the bamboo tree. If you're not familiar with the bamboo tree, it takes a long time to even grow a little bit out of the dirt. At the very beginning, you see no traces of life. But once it grows, it's unstoppable. It will continue growing. It will occupy your entire garden. It's such a robust tree that it's hard to break. They even use it for structures. So, selling on Amazon is like that. At the very beginning, you're going to see little to no results. But as you gradually progress in your journey, it's going to be a huge bamboo tree that is going to occupy your entire garden. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. If you like this video, I'm going to link another video right here that I'm sure you're also going to like. And make sure to please like this video and subscribe to the channel. As usual, keep up the great work.